Okay, so I'm pregnant. Again. I have to be completely honest that I did not think I would be filming a video like this year, especially after having a miscarriage at the beginning of the year. I was not planning on being pregnant again this year and waiting until my son turned 2 next year, but that's just not what happened. So here we are, and it's also just a whole different perspective than the first time. I mean, obviously now I've been pregnant the last 3 holiday seasons, pregnant with Dune, and then pregnant with them where I had a miscarriage, and then I'm pregnant again. So that's really interesting, but obviously I only have Dune, and then yeah, I'm gonna be due in May. It's crazy to me because I just didn't think any of this was ever gonna like be what my life looks like. It's just very interesting. Obviously this year was like really hard, and I just like didn't anticipate having to go through so much hard stuff, including the miscarriage. But it's also been like amazing, and I'm also like, I can't believe Dune is about to be 2 in a few weeks. After I had my miscarriage, I was not planning on getting pregnant again. I mean, we weren't even planning that pregnancy, that just happened. But yeah, I wasn't planning on being pregnant again, and just focused on my health the whole year. And I don't know, I guess that's just what happened. I mean, we're gonna figure out a new birth control method after this. A new theory that like, I don't know, maybe once you've been like pregnant through full term, maybe your body just, maybe my body just is like, oh, this is what we do now. It just gets pregnant easily. So yeah, we'll be needing to find a new birth control method after this. So yeah, I just wasn't expecting it, so I was just focused on my health. Was like, after Dune turns 2, which he turns 2 in January. It is December right now. We are in Puerto Rico right now. I'm filming this from our Airbnb in Puerto Rico. It's like a very rainy day. Dune in the other room, he's playing with Justin right now, and I was like, well, it's time to make our announcement. We took some photos on the beach here in Puerto Rico last night at sunset, or like before Justin went and surfed. We took some pictures. It's raining today, so I'll just film this announcement. Announcing a lot sooner than I did with Dune. I waited until I was about 22 weeks until I announced with Dune, but I'm 18 weeks now, due in May. It's just like, I'm showing so much sooner. It is crazy. I've heard that from a lot of people, that you show a lot sooner after your first pregnancy, and that is 100% the case for me. So I was like, when we had planned this trip to Puerto Rico, I was like, well, I definitely have to announce by then, because there's no way I can post my usual bikini photos on Instagram and show my bikini hauls on TikTok and stuff like that and not have announced, because it's like, I'm very obviously pregnant. Or you might just think I'm like really fat now again or something. So, but yeah, I recently talked about my miscarriage, which I have been planning to talk about my miscarriage this year. I posted a video a few weeks ago on my channel talking all about miscarriage, and I was planning to do that like over the summer before I found out I was pregnant now. I was planning to post that, was not planning to be pregnant. So then I kind of waited longer to share that, because I just wanted to get to a really good place in this pregnancy, basically be past the first trimester before I even recorded that video. I don't know, it's not that like I'm superstitious, but I just like didn't want to jinx anything. We had told so many people when I was pregnant with Dune. We had told people when I was pregnant at the beginning of the year. This time, like after the miscarriage, it's just totally changed like our perspective, and we literally didn't tell like a single person. Like I didn't even tell my mom, I didn't tell my family, like didn't tell anybody. I think there was one person that Justin told, his very best friend. I don't even know, that was the one person who knew, literally one person. We waited until I got test results at 12 weeks. I did the NIPT test, which I didn't do any sort of testing or anything with Dune. I didn't do any of that. I literally didn't even get an ultrasound until I was like this far along. Literally as far along as I am now. I didn't get an ultrasound or seen by a doctor until this far along when I was pregnant with Dune. After having a miscarriage, I wanted to be more prepared, and just more cautious about things. I'm doing this NIPT test, which is a test that tests for, you know, chromosome abnormalities and different risks. And I've done a lot of other blood tests for risks and stuff, which I don't know. I just want to be more cautious after a miscarriage because I was like, I don't know, me trying to listen to my body, being like, you know what, things can't go wrong. You know, things can go wrong. So want to be prepared. Also with the NIPT test, you can find out the gender a lot sooner. So next week I will be sharing a gender reveal. Very excited for that. So make sure you're subscribed and you'll be the first to see the gender reveal. But yeah, I mean, we weren't planning on this. I just ended up pregnant. And so Dune was around 19 months. And what's so crazy with this pregnancy is that actually when he was 18 months, I actually missed my period and thought I was pregnant. And like, but I didn't actually think I was pregnant. My period was late and I was like, I'm not pregnant. And then it was like a week later and I was like, something about my period. But I'd been running and like exercising a lot. Like I had finally lost all the baby weight that I gained with Dune. That literally finally lost it all, and now then I got pregnant again. Which I kind of think is not a coincidence. Like I just think it's really important to be like the healthiest that you can be so that your body can have a healthy pregnancy. And I think, I don't know, I didn't feel very healthy when I had my miscarriage. I wasn't in a good place mentally. I felt physically like I wasn't, you know, I still had all my baby weight. Like it just wasn't baby weight at that point. Or I don't know, I wasn't very healthy like I had been my whole last 10 years before I had Dune. So it's really important. So I don't think it's coincidence that like when I got, like, I felt like almost better than my pre-Dune self, that, and like had lost all the weight and was like really in shape. I was honestly been in the best shape that I've been in, like heart health wise. I started running in May. I started running and I've gotten up to 5 miles now. Before Dune, I ran periodically and I would run kind of far. I'd run like maybe 6 miles, anywhere from 3 to 6 miles, but it wasn't like super frequent. One thing I noticed, and I know this has nothing to do with being pregnant, I feel like your health is so tied to being pregnant. And so I just kind of wanted to share that message that like going through this journey, I've realized like how important it is for your health. But anyways, I noticed that, so I started running really regularly now since May. It's just started raining a lot. I've never felt like my heart beat like so strong. When I would, before Dune, I would like, if I ran like 5 miles or something, whenever you run like really hard or you're doing something really strenuous, you like feel it in your chest and you're like, you're like that. I would run like 5 miles suddenly by like September and like I didn't feel that like pain in my chest anymore. So I thought, I don't know, but to me that's like, wow, I've really like gotten into good shape that like I've never been in before. Like I've just never not had that pain. So like to suddenly feel that like my heart is so much stronger is like so cool. So anyways, I think that is like a big part of it. I was like surfing more, just really a lot more active, and I think that's just important for if you want to get pregnant. For me, that's the case. Like, and now everything's looking really good. I'll have my 20-week anatomy scan when we come back from Puerto Rico. So we timed the trip that we'll leave Puerto Rico because I have to get it done by like 21 weeks or something. So we have to get back in time in order to like do that ultrasound and that scan. Went on a tangent about that. I thought I was pregnant. Dune was 18 months old. Okay. So anyways, this is why Justin was bummed and then really excited. So I'll share that. Like going all over the place. So 18 months, my period was week late, and I thought it was just because I had been running a lot. Okay, here's the whole, now we're back to like why the running came up. Okay, so I thought, you know what, I've been working out a lot and like eating really, like just eating differently. That is impacting my period being delayed. We also had friends of ours stay with us, and like, I don't know if you're a girl, you know this, when you spend time in a house with other girls, like it sinks your period. It goes weird. So I think maybe something like that had happened. So I didn't think that I was pregnant, but then I took a pregnancy test and I think this was August. It said I was pregnant and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what? I'm not pregnant. This is telling me I'm pregnant. So I scheduled an appointment with my doctor. I went in and they were like, and then literally, so the day before, because it was Sunday, and I scheduled it for Monday, and I took the test on Friday. Sunday, I started bleeding, and I went into the doctor, and I was like worried. I was like, oh my God, is this another miscarriage? Like, I was literally freaking out. My doctor's just like, you're not pregnant, you're fine. Like, this happens, like totally normal. It happened that you get a false positive, like literally, like it can just happen. She's like, there's no way for us to really know if it's a miscarriage. She's like, this doesn't even count as a miscarriage. Like, anyways, like we don't count it, you know, in their world as a miscarriage. She was like, it could have been like something tried to get fertilized, so that's why you tested positive, but like you weren't actually pregnant. So then you had your period, obviously. So that's what my doctor explained to me, like maybe could have happened. She's like, but there's no way to really know. So you're just not pregnant. I was just more worried about, like, I didn't want to have multiple miscarriages because that can mean other issues. If you have multiple recurrent miscarriages, it can just mean like there's other issues going on that you didn't get checked out. And I just like didn't want to go through that again. Like the actual thing, this is horrible. Anyway, so Justin was like, I was kind of like about all this, but Justin was really excited because several of his friends were also pregnant with their second child, and so he was like excited that I was pregnant, and he was the one who went and made me take the test. Like, I wasn't going to take a test. Literally wasn't going to take a test. I was like, I'm not pregnant. So it's like, I knew I wasn't pregnant, but he literally went out and bought a test, which was so sweet of him that he was so excited. Then he was really bummed when I wasn't actually pregnant. Like, he was more disappointed. I was really, nothing was wrong. I was like, I just don't want to go through another miscarriage. Like, I'm glad everything's okay. He was super bummed. So I felt really sad that he was bummed because, you know, we had planned, like, you know, okay, after James 2, then we'll see about having another kid. He was bummed, and then it made him like not want to, like, he was like, oh, I don't know, maybe we'll just have Doom then. Like, it's just like, I guess he just took it like the way he dealt with his being bummed about it. He was like, oh, we just won't have another one. And I was like, no, like, I want to still have another one. And obviously he did too, but he was just like, that was just how he dealt with it. So then, but then the next month is when I got pregnant. So I just think it's like all really weird. Like, so again, we were not trying or anything. But the next month, then I missed my period again. And I was like, okay, I think I'm pregnant this time. It's like, I just knew, like, I was like, okay, I think I am pregnant this time. I waited a week still to test. And then I took a test and I was pregnant. And then I waited another few weeks before I like contacted my doctor to schedule an ultrasound and appointment, because I just like wanted to get past the point of when my miscarriage, I don't know, I just didn't want to jinx anything. Like, with my miscarriage, I had gone in at 6 weeks and got an ultrasound. Like, I had just done all the things like you're supposed to do, and I'm like, you know what, that doesn't work for me. I remember when I called the office to schedule the appointment, she was like, you're already like almost 10 weeks. She was like, what? Or it was like 9 weeks or something. She's like, you waited a long time. I was like, yeah, I waited a long time because I had a miscarriage earlier, and I just didn't want to schedule anything until like I felt like I was like in a good place. So I had my 16-week appointment. I'm 18 weeks now. Yeah, I felt baby move like a few times when I was like in a yoga class. I've been started going to prenatal yoga now. I started going maybe at like 14 weeks-ish, 15 weeks. I waited also longer to start prenatal yoga than I did with Dune. I did prenatal yoga with Dune, loved it. And now I love it even more. I'm just like, second time around, it's like I need prenatal yoga even more. I also want to look into that I didn't do with my previous pregnancy was pelvic floor therapy is something that I'm going to look into. But anyway, so I've started prenatal yoga, and one of the classes I could feel baby moving around. I felt baby moving around a little bit. And I remember when we were on our baby moon in El Salvador with Dune, I was this exact far along for a trip, which is when I knew for planning this trip to Puerto Rico, this would be the perfect time for us to take a trip, because it was like our best trip. Like, I felt the best that I felt at, like, you know, basically halfway through the second trimester. Like, you just feel really good, unless you've got like hyperemesis or whatever that is. Like, unless you have something like that, you just like feel really good at this point along. So I knew, like, okay, this is a really good time for us to like go to Puerto Rico and take a trip and stuff. I was so sick the first trimester. I was not sick like that with Dune. I was nauseous every day, all day long, literally the entire first trimester. It started getting better at 12 weeks, but it really wasn't gone until like 14-ish weeks. So nauseous every day, and I'm so tired. Like, more tired than when I was pregnant with Dune. I literally would nap almost every day when Dune napped, and I was going to bed between 7 and 8 p.m. when he went to bed. Like, I literally was on Dune's sleep schedule. Like, I would nap with him during the day, not as long as he would nap, and then I would like go to bed. Like, or I'd go to bed before him. Like, sometimes he stays up until like 9 p.m. or so, and I would go to bed before him. So I was just, that was really it with the first trimester. It was so weird that like to not be telling anyone, like it was just like our secret, and it just felt like we couldn't really talk about it, and like we didn't talk about it sometimes, but I guess just after you have a miscarriage, it's kind of hard to talk about it. Like, I don't know, you just don't want to get your hopes up. Like, you just want everything to go well. But I felt really good. Like, I just felt like it was going to be fine, and everything's going to be fine. Second day now that like I have so much energy now, and I'm not nauseous. Like, so second trimester, once I hit about 14, 15 weeks, it's like feeling super, super good. The other weird thing with this pregnancy that didn't happen with Dune is I would have like 1 to 2 cups sometimes of coffee when I was pregnant with Dune. And as soon as I got pregnant this time, literally, I wanted to throw up at the smell of coffee. Like, still if I like smell the coffee in the pot that Justin has, I like want to throw up. Like, literally cannot have coffee. Like, and I was a coffee addict, and I actually went through like a coffee withdrawal. I like literally had to stop. Like, I got literally, it's like the week I got pregnant, I was like, oh my god, I cannot have this coffee. And I had to like literally had a cold turkey stop, and I was having like 2, 3, sometimes almost 4 cups a day. I went through coffee withdrawal. It was like the worst headache of my life for 2 whole days. It was absolutely horrible. And then I'm fine ever since. I miss sometimes the like ritual of coffee, and so I'll have a chai tea or a matcha. Still no desire for coffee. It's like I like the idea of coffee, like just the ritual aspect of it, but like I still cannot have coffee. And like I've had such different cravings than with Dune. With Dune, I knew I was pregnant because I suddenly started craving like so much meat, beef. Like I never ate red meat, and I was just like craving it so much. And then with this one, I was like craving kimchi and sushi, pickles, so many pickles, lots of fruit, and just whatever's like in season. Like because this was hitting around fall, I was like craving so many like apples and like grapes and just lots of fruit and like smoothies. Like a first trimester thing for me, like the cravings. With Dune, I literally just turned into Justin. I was eating so much meat, like chicken biscuits every day, and like desserts. That was literally what my husband eats. I was like, this has to be a boy. Like, it was Dune. This time it's like more similar to like what I like to eat. Like lots of fruits and veggies. Veggies are still just hard, and when you're nauseous, veggies are really tough to eat though. Yeah, it was really like fermented foods basically. It was like what I was craving. Like rice, like kimchi, cold kimchi, and like hot rice with some salt. I was consistently having. And then like some bagels and cream cheese, which I like never eat bagels. Anyways, all the cravings are gone now. So I'm just trying to think if there's like any other like weird things. I mean, I feel like I haven't documented that much because again, just with the miscarriage, I just like, I didn't want to jinx anything. And you're in a different mindset of like, it's like taking all the pictures and documenting everything. It's like, gets you all excited and your hopes up. But it's like now I'm doing that stuff. So the first trimester I like wasn't documenting like anything just because I just mentally like couldn't handle it. Now we're just at a really exciting point where we're sharing with everyone and it's public, and like Dune like points to my belly now and says baby. I've literally been telling him for like 2 months like baby, baby, and like points to my stomach, but he like didn't get it. He would like lift up his shirt and point to his stomach and say baby. He's like literally just before I filmed this, he was like pointing at my tummy saying like baby, baby, and he like gave the baby a kiss and like he said hi baby. Like it's so cute. So I think he's like kind of getting it. Do a gender reveal next week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. It's gonna be really exciting. We're getting to the end. This ended up being a lot chattier and longer than I thought. So we're really excited. Thanks for watching, and can't wait to take you guys along on this journey. I have a lot of things like I didn't even post with Dune that I'll be sharing more of, just like more motherhood stuff. So I just have a lot more in this topic to be sharing soon. So really excited, and yeah, we can't wait. So I will see you next time.